We're going to see real hardship around the world. The UN is saying we're looking at hundreds of million people maybe in starvation. Jamie Dimon has said a hurricane is coming. I think it's a force 5 tsunami. I think it's going to do a lot of destruction. But creative destruction, right? We need to destroy a lot of flawed models, a lot of flawed thinking, a lot of flawed policy responses. Once we get through that, I have no doubt the future of finance will be digital, will be networked. But the future of money, the future of value, the future of financial services is in networks, just as the future of everything else that we've learned over the last 30 years is in the values in the network. Uh-huh. And I tell people all the time when they come to me and said, I just heard about this great new crypto, whatever coin, what do you think? And I say, well, I really don't know anything about it, but I'll tell you what, if there's not value in the underlying protocol, if you don't think that protocol is going to stand the test of time and have the potential to be one of the 30 or 40 protocols that will eventually power an internet of value around the world, then it's just for speculation purposes. And maybe next month it'll be up and maybe it's worth, but I wouldn't place a long-term bet on it. In an internet of value, we're going to have these protocols. And so they have value. The value is in the network. The value is and when we trade the tokens, in the same way we trade shares of Tesla, we're basically taking a view onto that digital future, right? We'll keep building out the infrastructure. We'll weather the storms that are coming. We'll get to the other side. A lot of the policy mistakes and the people responsible for them will wash out. We'll get to the other side. Younger thinking will come into play. A generation that's grown up on a network will come into government, regulatory bodies, policy makers across the globe. They'll have a greater affinity to this. They'll think less defensively about the status quo and more offensively of how do we use this technology to advance.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe. If you do like what you're listening to, please inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works. Because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books, Cryptoteacher and the new Road Order book. The new Road Order book is going to show you how the world works. It is definitely time to wake up out of your sleep in the times that we're in right now. Plus, guys, we know we're waiting on that next main event towards the end of the year. We had the first quarter event. Like I told you, that would happen. Don't forget this is Shemitah year. And then also, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's definitely time to re-educate. And also, those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon, much love, keep it coming. Do not forget I have the New World Order cryptos in my Patreon. Do your own research, but going inside of a bear market, you definitely want the cryptos that have real use cases. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores, keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first. And right now, we have Bitcoin and crypto slightly moving back. We saw yields get lowered this morning, and we see the stock market starting to lift up, and cryptos are starting to lift up. Now, guys, we had Giancarlo talking about the younger generation is going to start building this new technology because this is all they're going to know. And we know that is definitely the truth. And I tell you all the time that this current market is going to be destroyed. And what did he say? This market will be destroyed in order for the new fourth industrial revolution to rise. He didn't say fourth industrial revolution, but we know what he's talking about. This new digital economy, in order for it to rise, this old one has to end. And we know who's in charge of this old one? America, the Babylon. So that means that America has to end also as we know it. So blockchain, cryptos, robots, algorithms, drones are definitely the future. But guys, it takes time. It's phases. Sometimes we'll speed up, sometimes we'll pull back. But this is part of a plan. So even though you'll see the media talk down the fourth industrial revolution, you know better. You know this is definitely the future. Now, guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates, which they're definitely pushing down front end and the back end. And then also, guys, we have volume, tether, USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. The repo is over $2 trillion. We know they printed all this money to put us in this situation. And we see across the globe, the inflation is absolutely ridiculous. And we're starting to see people revolt, but it's a controlled revolt because they have the solution. Remember, they create the problem. Wait for the reaction. And this is the reaction. We see people uprising. Hey, we're not going to tolerate this. And then what they're going to come in? They're going to come in with that free money. And how many people are going to turn down that carrot? We already saw what happened here in America. It only took 2 years to change people's habits. Well, the fact is they didn't want to go back to work. They wanted to keep accepting the money. And we know when it comes to the NWO, nothing is free. The devil is in the details. And all that PPP money, they're going to get back. And we see Biden ramping up the IRS. They're definitely going to come back and get that money. While their buddies made trillions. Because we know the banks are the biggest what? I'm going to let you finish that. But then also, guys, we have Grayscale that picked up slightly on Friday. Make sure you're paying attention to the actual allocations. But getting over to a little crypto news, we have Scaramucci says Bitcoin and Ethereum look good over the next 12 to 24 months. And I agree 100%. But right now, at the moment that we're in right now, we know the Fed is not going to start raising rates until September. That's the reason why I told you that we would start moving up, and that's exactly what we started to do. Jerome stated in June that July was already baked in, and we knew in August we would get a relief. So that's the reason why we're moving up right now. And then plus the momentum of the Ethereum merge. But we know the Fed is going to start raising rates in September again, and then plus rolling off this balance sheet, start to speed that up. So we know we're going to have a pullback, but we're going to have that big distraction. And plus, guys, we have midterms. Now they're going to be able to turn up this Hegelian dialectic, so therefore they can distract the masses for the next 2 to 3 years. So therefore they can start building. This is Shemitah year. Biden renamed the Build Back Better to Inflation Reduction Act, and we know it should be called the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Scaramucci says 12 to 24 months. I say 18 to 24 months because it's definitely going to take time to build. Like I stated, guys, this is part of a plan. I'm not your financial advisor, not financial advice. Please do your own research, but definitely get yourselves in position. Now we have Galaxy Digital terminates Bitco acquisition citing breach of contract. And guys, we know this is not the time to list. We know if something big is going to happen. Anytime you have state-owned China companies delisting off the American Stock Exchange, we know something is about to happen. And right now, this is definitely not the time to do an IPO when we're headed into a bear market. And everybody's giving warnings that something bad is going to happen. And we get that from Jamie Dimon once more. And he states the United States is heading into something worse than a recession. And guys, we know we hear those drums beating. We know the Fed is not going to come out and say, I took your money. There must be a big distraction. And lastly, we have Kevin O'Leary says sacrificing tornado cash worth it for institutional adoption. And we know the billionaires and fund managers never tell us the whole truth. Tornado cash has nothing to do with institutional adoption. We know the central banks are working on a private blockchain, but they don't want you using it. It's okay for their privacy because they're the biggest what? I'm going to let you finish that. And remember, the crypto teacher told you because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you, don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance, do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The Crypto Teacher Stock Channel, Crypto Teacher Stocks. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the C-word, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.